She smiled at my wedding rehearsal dinner. That's not a movie line. That's what happened to me, and I'm still here to tell you. My name is Maya. I'm 31 years old, and for the longest time, I thought my family was everything. Turns out, some people will only love you until your life starts looking better than theirs. From the outside, we were perfect. Sunday dinners, Christmas photos, mom's homemade pie, the kind of family strangers envied. But closed doors tell different stories. My older brother, Daniel, was the favorite, always had been. Smart, charming, never wrong. And I was the little sister who tried too hard. He never called me stupid, never screamed at me. It was always subtle, the kind of quiet cruelty you can't prove. You sure you should be doing that, Maya? That's a big dream for someone like you. I love you, I just worry you're setting yourself up. He said it was like a concern, but it felt like a ceiling he kept lowering every time I tried to stand tall. Then I met Chris at a work conference. Third day, last session, nobody wanted to be there. He sat next to me because every other seat was taken. We talked for 4 hours straight, and that was it. He didn't see the version of me Daniel described. He saw someone sharp, someone worth showing up for, someone worth choosing. For the first time in my adult life, I didn't feel like the lesser version of someone else. I felt like the main character of my own story. We dated for 2 years. He proposed in our kitchen. No fancy restaurant, no crowd, just us, and a ring he'd saved for quietly. I said yes before he finished the sentence. Mom insisted on a big rehearsal dinner. Family, friends, toasts, tears, everything you'd want. Daniel gave a speech. Big smile, open arms, raised his glass toward me. To my little sister, who somehow always lands on her feet. Somehow. Everyone laughed. Chris squeezed my hand under the table. He heard it too. Later that night, Daniel hugged me at the door, and right there, inches from my ear, he whispered, "Enjoy it while it lasts." I went cold. My arms dropped. He stepped back like nothing happened, winked, got in his car, drove away. I stood in the driveway for a long time, just breathing. 3 weeks before the wedding, Chris changed. Quiet, distracted, apologetic for no reason. I asked what was wrong. He said he was stressed about the wedding planning. I believed him, because you believe in the people you love until you can't anymore. One night, he left his laptop open. I wasn't snooping, I was closing it, but the screen was already there, an email thread. From my brother. I should have closed it, I know that, but my hands scrolled before my brain could stop them. Daniel had been emailing Chris for months. Long emails, detailed, calculated. He told Chris I had a history of instability, that I'd broken down in college, that I'd never really dealt with my issues, that I'd pushed people away, that I'd pushed him away. He sent screenshots of old text arguments between us, taken completely out of context, made me look unhinged, made himself look like a worried older brother. One line stopped my breathing entirely. "She needs someone patient enough to handle her. Are you sure that's you?" He wasn't warning Chris. He was planting doubt. Slow, steady, deliberate. The way you poison something you don't want to survive. I didn't cry, didn't throw anything, didn't call him. I sat down, read every email. I took pictures of the screen. Then I closed the laptop, went to bed. Silence is what happens when your pain runs too deep for noise. I smiled at family dinners, texted Daniel like normal, hugged Mom, but I was gathering everything, quietly, carefully, building a truth nobody could argue with, because Daniel had spent months rewriting me, and I was done letting him hold the pen. I called a therapist friend, explained everything. She said one thing I'll never forget. This isn't jealousy. This is erasure. He's been trying to erase you for years. He just got bold when you got happy. That landed because it was true. Daniel didn't come from my relationship. He came from my confidence. The relationship was just the fastest way to get there. I didn't do it at a big family dinner. I'm not built for dramatic performances. I called Daniel on a Tuesday afternoon, normal voice, calm energy. Hey, can we talk? I need to show you something. He came over that evening, sat at my kitchen table. I expected another "I was worried about you" conversation. I set my phone in front of him. Email screenshots, all of them, printed and stacked neatly beside the phone like homework. He looked down, then I looked up, then back down. And then he said nothing for almost 40 seconds. Finally, I was trying to protect him from what you do to people. From what I do to people, I looked at him, really looked, for the first time without flinching. You've been trying to protect everyone from me my whole life, and I think you did it so I'd always need you, so you'd always be the one standing. I'm done with it. He had no script for that. He tried to recover, said I was being dramatic, said Mom would be devastated, said the wedding would be ruined. I told him the wedding was fine. My relationship was fine. Chris and I had already talked. I'd shown him everything. Chris's response? 3 words. I'm sorry, Maya. Not for falling for it, for almost letting it work. That's the difference between a good man and a weak moment. Good men course correct when they see the truth. The wedding happened. Smaller than planned. Daniel wasn't invited. Mom cried. Not because of the drama, because she said she saw signs her whole life and looked away. That broke something in me, and also healed it, because she finally said it out loud. Some truths take decades to arrive, but when they do, they change everything. The months after were quiet, strange, like learning to walk without bracing for a fall. I started therapy, not because I was broken, because I deserved someone in my corner who was fully honest. I started writing again, something I'd abandoned in my 20s because Daniel once read my journal and said, "You're not deep, Maya, you're just dramatic." I wrote every single day. Pain is fuel if you learn to drive with it instead of drown in it. Here's the thing about family betrayal that nobody warns you about. It doesn't always look like screaming. It doesn't always look like abuse. Sometimes it looks like a person who smiles at every holiday dinner while quietly making sure you never believe in yourself enough to leave the table. That's the slow kind, the kind that takes decades to name. And the moment you name it, you can finally walk away from it. Today, I'm 31, married to someone who has never once made me feel like a problem to solve, writing more than I ever have, still in therapy. I'm still learning. Daniel and I don't speak, not because of anger, because some distances are the healthiest thing you can give yourself. Mom calls every Sunday. We don't talk about him much, but when we do, she always ends with the same thing. I should have seen it sooner. I'm sorry. And every time I tell her the same thing back. You see it now, that's enough. If you're reading this and you have someone in your life who calls it love but leaves you smaller, who calls it honesty but leaves you hollow, who claps for you in public and chips away at you in private, that's not love. That's control wearing a familiar face. You are not too sensitive. You are not too dramatic. You are not too much. You were just surrounded by someone too afraid of how far you could go. And sometimes, the most radical thing you can do is simply refuse to shrink. And if you stayed until the end, subscribe, because the next story gets even more real.